Chicago, a city that never truly sleeps. By day, it thrums with ambition, commerce, and the ceaseless hum of life. By night, it whispers secrets, hides shadows in plain sight, and holds stories most would rather never see. In the north side of the city, among the brick townhouses and quiet streets lined with lampposts, a man named Evan Mercer lived what everyone believed to be the perfect life. Evan was 38, an architect by profession, steady in demeanor, methodical in thought. He was the kind of man neighbors trusted, co-workers respected, and friends turned to when logic was required. Calm, kind, meticulous. Evan Mercer was the embodiment of stability. He shared a townhouse with his wife Lydia, a marketing manager known for her charm, poise, and composure. They had been married 12 years. No children by choice. One dog, Milo, and a life that looked from the outside enviable, secure, and complete. But appearances can deceive. The first sign that everything was not as it seemed came one Wednesday evening. Lydia didn't return home. Evan's first reaction was rational. She often worked late. Perhaps a client meeting ran over. Perhaps her phone had died. But when calls went unanswered and messages unread, unease began to creep in. By midnight, he checked her phone location. It was off. By morning, Lydia walked through the door as if nothing had happened. "Sorry, babe," she said. "Team meeting ran long. Then drinks. My phone died." Believable. Too believable. Over the next few weeks, subtle changes began to manifest. Lydia's behavior shifted imperceptibly at first. New perfume, a different phone lock screen, late nights with vague explanations. Evan, keenly observant, noticed everything. One night, while she showered, he glanced at her purse and found a receipt from a hotel downtown. 2 glasses of wine, 1 bourbon. The timestamp matched the night she had disappeared. Evan stared at the receipt long enough to let the weight of the betrayal sink in. Then, carefully, he replaced it. No confrontation. Not yet. Patience, after all, was his quietest weapon. The first real test of their relationship came during a weekend dinner at a rooftop Italian restaurant overlooking the Chicago River. The skyline glittered in the evening light, and Lydia smiled, laughed at small talk, ordered her favorite dishes. For a moment, Evan almost believed everything was normal again. Then he asked softly, "Do you ever get lonely when I'm not around?" She hesitated. "Everyone feels that way sometimes," she said, her tone casual. But there was a flicker, a shadow passing over her eyes. 2 weeks later, Lydia claimed she was flying to Milwaukee for a weekend conference. Evan helped pack her suitcase, kissed her goodbye, watched her drive off. Then he did something she would never know. He followed her. She didn't go to the airport. She went to the Thornwood Hotel downtown. Red coat, confident stride. In the lobby, a man waited. Tall, dark suit. The kind of presence that dominated a room without saying a word. She embraced him, casually, intimately. Evan watched from across the street, unseen, unmoving. He did not confront them. He did not call. He simply observed. That night, in the quiet of his apartment, Evan whispered to himself, "You'll tell me the truth when you're ready." Weeks passed, and Lydia never did. Evan's approach was methodical. He did not confront her. He did not act on impulse. Instead, he began to observe. Every movement, every meeting, every interaction outside their home became data. He noted the streets she walked, the cafes she frequented, the friends she met, the time she spent on calls. Every pattern catalogued, every anomaly filed. It was not obsession, it was calculation. He learned her routines better than she knew them herself. And still, he loved her. Or at least, he convinced himself he did. Then came the first concrete evidence, a text message from an unknown number. "Meet me at Thornwood, 10 p.m. Don't tell him." Evan took note, waited, and followed her. Again. She met the same man, the one from Thornwood, in a secluded area near the Southside docks. He was careless this time. Their argument was sharp, heated, urgent. She recoiled from his touch. She gestured wildly. She whispered words Evan could not hear from his vantage point across the street. And then it became clear. This was no longer a simple affair. This was calculated betrayal, dangerous, financial, emotional, and possibly criminal. Evan Mercer did what he always did. He planned. He contacted a private investigator he trusted, Marcus Vale, and began building a dossier. Every hotel receipt, every message, every photograph of Lydia and Cole together, every small lie catalogued, every detail of deception meticulously archived. Evan did not rage. He did not explode. He waited. Weeks of surveillance revealed the pattern. Lydia and Cole were moving client funds through illicit channels. What began as emotional betrayal had evolved into financial manipulation, a crime hidden in plain sight. Evan set up his apartment as a command center. Maps, photographs, schedules, a web of information designed to expose the truth. Every night he reviewed it, refined it, prepared for the day he would act. Then he left the first message, a single note on the kitchen counter, written in her own handwriting from an old letter he had copied. "You can't hide from yourself." The effect was immediate. Lydia's confident exterior cracked. She looked over her shoulder more frequently, checked her phone obsessively, and became increasingly careless. The final confrontation came on a Friday night, in a downpour that swept across Chicago like the cleansing of sins. Lydia entered their home, exhausted from yet another fabricated story. Evan greeted her, calm, controlled, the picture of normalcy. "Evening," he said. "Hey," she responded, hesitant, sensing the change. "I found something," he said, holding an envelope thick with documents. Her eyes widened. She froze. Evan laid out photographs, receipts, emails, evidence of every secret, every lie, every betrayal. She stammered, "Evan, I can explain. You already did, a dozen times. All lies," he said softly. For the first time, Lydia's world collapsed. She sank into a chair, trembling. The confident, untouchable woman disappeared. She was now exposed, vulnerable, and utterly undone. "I didn't think you'd notice," she whispered. "I noticed everything," Evan replied. He did not yell. He did not threaten. He simply watched, allowed her to experience the weight of her own actions. Then he left, quietly, silently, out into the rain-soaked streets of Chicago. By morning, anonymous evidence packets arrived at Lydia's firm, her partner, and the police department. Fraud, betrayal, and criminal activity laid bare. Careers ended, reputations destroyed. Cole Danner vanished without a trace. Evan Mercer, he disappeared, a ghost in a city of millions. Chicago continued its rhythm, the trains, the traffic, the endless lights. But the story lingered. People whispered, neighbors speculated, And somewhere in the shadows, Evan watched, waited, unseen. Because some truths, some betrayals, demand patience. And some men, the quiet, calculated ones, are the most dangerous of all. This was Evan Mercer's justice. Not loud, not violent, but precise, inevitable, and absolute. Chicago had many stories, some violent, some tragic, some shocking. But few were as silent, deliberate, and haunting as this. To die in Chicago was not just a story of infidelity. It was a study of human patience, observation, and the devastating consequences of betrayal. Evan Mercer vanished, leaving only a warning. In a city built on secrets, the silent observer may be the one who sees everything and waits to act. Chicago never forgot his name. In the end, the truth always finds its way to the surface, no matter how deep it's buried. Lies may offer comfort for a moment, but they steal trust forever. In every relationship, honesty isn't just a virtue. It's the foundation. Without it, love becomes a performance, not a partnership. So if you're in something that feels real but sounds hollow, maybe it's time to stop listening to words and start watching actions. Because real love tells the truth, even when it's hard.